Hello there, and welcome to the Prospect Podcast here on HawkFanatic.com. It is Thursday, June the 6th, a little after 11 a.m. Central Time. Happy to be joined in this episode by offensive lineman Will Nolan, from John Hersey High School in Arlington Heights, Illinois. How are you, Will? You starting to get the feeling that your life is about to change?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Yeah, I am. It's starting to kick in a little bit. So, yeah.
Do you get here this weekend?
Yeah, Sunday.
What have you kind of been doing to prepare for your arrival, so to speak?
Just kind of mentally preparing, a lot of working out, eating clean and, pretty much doing, yeah.
What's your kind of approach? I mean, this is all new to you. Obviously, you're moving away from home. You've got academics. You've got football. Kind of what's kind of your approach to this to make sure you don't get overwhelmed?
Just stay like grounded and, use my resources like, my parents and, my teammates and just, try to just take it as seriously as possible, just try to do everything right and, hopefully succeed.
Do you come in with the mindset that you want to get on the field right away or early, or do you not, or you just come in and do what you got to do and let the chips fall where they may?
Um, I mean, that's always my mindset. I don't know if it's always like the reality, I'm a competitor, so I'm always trying to, of course I'm trying to play early. I'm doing everything I can to play early. So, but yeah, it's just like I'm just a competitor like that. So yeah.
That's a great mindset. I mean, you just go in and see kind of where you stand, and you walk into a situation where what five guys on the offensive line are coming back that have started before, so
Yeah,
you
for
have an
sure.
ability to. I mean, that's you talk about resources. That's got to be exciting for you to have the resources of the guys that are already in the room.
For sure. Yeah.
Have you gotten to know any of those guys on visits or anything like that? Or
Yeah. Every time I visited, usually I meet most of them and they're really cool guys, um they seem like great mentors and I'm looking forward to going in the summer with them. So yeah.
what's your relationship like with Coach Barnett, and kind of how did it grow to this point?
We have a good relationship, he just checking up on me and he's a great coach and we share he loves throwing. I don't know if you know him and his
Yeah,
kid
I
throw.
know
So
his son's pretty good at it.
yeah. So and I'm a thrower as well. So, he's always texting me like how's the throwing going? Like, texting my coach, like tips and all that. So yeah.
It seems like there's a good marriage there, Will, between guys, whether it be wrestling or basketball in the winter, but a lot of times in the spring, track athletes that are throwers usually do well. There's a good connection there with football. What is it about the connection? What the relationship between those two sports? Why do they connect?
I think it's just primarily just the competitive aspect, it's like football is one team sport. But then like throwing, it'll teach you that power and honestly how to rely on yourself in moments when the pressure's high. And as much as football is a team sport, you need your own mental thing. And I think throwing is a great advocate for that. So yeah.
What's going back now to give people a kind of idea of how you've gotten to this sport? When did you get into athletics, like competing in athletics, and what sports did you start with?
I so back in when I was a little kid, like basically ever since I don't know exactly when, like first grade, primarily a basketball player. Um, I just loved playing basketball up until around freshman, sophomore year, and then kind of realized football was kind of the move for me. But yeah, primarily basketball and yeah, basketball pretty much year round.
Um, what got you into that? Were you a a restless kid or an active kid? Is that kind of what got you into athletics? How did you end up down that road? Maybe other than rather than maybe music or the arts or something. And maybe you do those things too. But why did athletics become your thing?
Yeah, basically just my family, like a lot of athletes come through and also like yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of a good point. Just like need to get my energy out, I have a lot of energy, so um yeah, that's that's
Yeah.
yeah.
When did you stop playing basketball?
I stopped playing my junior year. I got injured I had a lingering injury from football. So I just I tried to play and then I kind of got like injured again, so I just thought I would be done playing.
You miss it?
No, not really. You know.
You play
I
pickup still?
sometimes, I try to stay away just so I don't get injured again, but
Sure.
yeah, I mean, it's fun to watch, it's a fun sport. And once I fell in love with football, it's kind of just I stopped thinking about basketball. So yeah.
Uh, 247 lists you at 6'6", 275. Is that current?
270, I'm 280 right now.
Okay.
So, but yeah, basically that's pretty accurate.
6'6" is right?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, when talk to me a little bit about your recruitment. When did schools start to show interest in you, and kind of what was the process there, from start, and then we'll ask about Iowa after, but just kind of the initial part of it, and how things kind of took off for you and when they took off for you.
Yeah, it was last April, I would say, is when things started to pick up. A little bit of March too. Just started going on visits, and then once I got the first one, I think it was early February. Um, then it kind of picked up from there. But Iowa and the other schools that I was getting came in like late April and early May.
What was it, do you think, that kind of got people on you?
I think it had a little bit to do with throwing, and I have great coaches, and I think that's like a big contributor for me too, because like it's like my coaches are like could probably coach in college, but they decide to be at the high school level, and I think that was a huge help, and just playing other sports too. So
Yeah, no doubt. Again, I'm going off 247 for your offer list here. Schools like Iowa State, Duke, Indiana, Minnesota, a lot of great offers. What was the process like? Kind of getting maybe a group of top schools and then kind of whittling it down until you got to Iowa.
it didn't exactly go like that for me. Um I had a few schools like you just named. I like Vanderbilt, Iowa State, and then once I got Iowa, it was kind of just like that was it. Like I
Really?
was never like I when I made my decision, it was just like I just knew Iowa was it. So I never was like stuck between three schools. I kind of just knew the second I got offered by Iowa.
What was it? Was it something what was it that I guess once you got that offer, you knew that was the place?
I honestly like it's hard to explain. It was just like a weird feeling, meeting Coach Barnett and um I don't know if you know, but my coach at like my high school, uh he had Barnett as a coach when he played in college. So that helped me, and
All
just
right.
watch them practice like sorry. It just gave me like a set. I don't know. I don't know. There's just a different feeling watching them practice, and yeah, and I'd still have the same feeling I had when I committed. So yeah.
Never second guessed yourself or said, well, maybe this, looking over here. And did school stop recruiting you when you committed, or do you have to kind of tell people, hey, no, I'm solid?
Yeah, they did stop recruiting me. I mean I kind of sent a text message out to everyone like I'm done getting recruited. So yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's good to do. And I'm glad that the other coaches honored that. Always good to see. Probably a good time for us to step out for a break here. Let folks know that support for this podcast comes from Systems Unlimited, celebrating 50 years of providing services to people living with disabilities and mental health needs throughout East Central Iowa. A list of their services and upcoming events can be found at sui.org. That is sui.org. Thank you to Systems Unlimited for the great work that they've been doing in our community for over half a century. And we certainly appreciate their support of our podcast. We're going to hear from a few more sponsors now. Will and I will be back on the other side to talk some more. Hang tight. And we're back here on the Prospect Podcast on hawkfanatic.com to let you know that switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights, we switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Chad Birch, right here in Iowa City, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Chad and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Chad Birch, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And on cue, I get a phone call while I'm doing an advertisement read. Uh, best laid plans. Well, what's your development been like as an offensive lineman? Kind of where were you when you first started to where you are now? And how did you get from point A to point B?
Yeah, just sophomore year I was kind of, undersized and underdeveloped and I just I don't know, I didn't really ever think that I would, I don't know, never mind, but I didn't realize what I had and then once it became the off season, just kept working and then earned the starting spot my junior year and then, it kind of just took off from there.
What do you feel like are your strengths, and what areas do you kind of have a feeling that you're going to need to focus on improvement wise? You want to improve everything, I know, but just areas where you may need to take a step forward when you get to college.
Yeah, strengths, getting around the edge on defensive ends is probably one of my best things, in a wide zone um type of thing. And then a weakness probably something I need to work on come school would be like pass pro.
You feel more advanced in run game right now than pass pro?
Yeah, I mean it's not necessarily that. I just feel like a lot of the guys that I played against this year were just on the pass pro. It just didn't seem like I got, um, in games just didn't seem like the greatest, competition for me. But, running game it was pretty good. So, yeah.
Do you guys have a balanced offense? Do you guys run balance, or are you guys more of a running offense?
Yeah, balanced offense.
So you got experience in both. When you watch Iowa's offensive line on film, what do you see? What sticks out to you? What that if you were somebody asked you what does Iowa do on its offensive line, how would you describe that?
Yeah. So I feel Iowa runs a lot of like wide zone, which is obviously what I just said I like. And it's gritty, I like it's just like if they come off the ball and they hit, it's just like and it's like my type of personality, like 4 yard gain plays and just until it's a first down. So it's yeah.
Um, where do you see yourself fitting in positionally? Do you feel like you're a left tackle? Do you feel like you play right tackle? How much versatility do you have coming in?
Yeah, I think I could play tackle on either. I'm whatever it is. I could also play guard if need be. So Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Brandon Scherf started here as a guard. Then he played tackle, and now he's back at guard in the NFL. So you
Yeah.
never know where you're going to end up. And there have been a lot of tackles that came through here that end up at guard in the next level and opposite. So, um, what was I going to ask you? I don't remember what I was going to ask you. Let's get to know you a little bit, Will.
Okay.
Um, do you have any hobbies outside of sports?
Yeah, playing video games with my brother and just hanging out with my friends and my family and just hanging around, yeah.
What are your video games? What are your go-tos when you sit down at the system?
Me and my brother play a lot of like UFC and NHL, but I usually don't play by myself. I usually just play if he's around. So yeah.
Um, what have your visits to Iowa been like?
Yeah, like you're like in what context do you?
Just like you've been to games, I'm sure. Like what that experience is like on game days, and kind of I have an idea through the visits of what it's going to be like when you get here.
Yeah, it's been fun. The visits are one thing, the official was really fun, like getting to know everybody and then the games that I went to also this year, beating Illinois and that like game-winning touchdown was electric. And I could just feel the energy in the stadium and it was awesome. So that and then, everything else, just when I've gotten to meet the guys, I went to the spring game and that was a lot of fun. So yeah.
Bouncing around here a little bit. Um, do you have a favorite restaurant in your area that you do you have a go-to restaurant in your area that you like to go to? And what is it and will you miss it?
Let's think. Yeah, there's this place Carmine's that I go to a little bit. It's like 20 minutes away, but I'll definitely miss going there. It's pretty good.
What do you get when you go there?
My offensive line coach put me on this like this veal parmesan type of thing, and it's so good. So yeah.
As an Italian, I miss that's what I miss most about go when it's something I do whenever I go to cities. I seek out Italian restaurants
Yeah.
because there's not that much here in Iowa City, unfortunately, and so
Uh-huh.
uh, you will miss Carmine's.
I
Um,
will.
do you TV, movies, things like that? What's kind of your genres? What do you go to if you uh, sit down to watch a TV show or a movie?
As a kid, I used to be really into like the Avengers type of stuff. I also love like all the Will Ferrell movies. I haven't watched a lot of TV shows as of recent, but um yeah, I watch a lot of sports and that's about it. But I used to watch a lot of like comedies with my friends and like the Avengers movies.
Gotcha. Um, do you know you? I'm sure you do. If you're getting here this weekend, who are you room? Who's going to be your roommate when you get here?
Cody Fox.
What type of relationship you have with him?
Just he's a really nice guy, talking to him and that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ha-
and
yeah.
he's from here. He's from Iowa, so he can help you
Yeah.
kind of get acclimated to the state.
Yeah, his brother played, so I'm excited. Like, he's probably got some insider tips and stuff. So yeah.
You talked about the official visit weekend and how how much everybody enjoyed that. What was it about that visit for you that kind of stood out and kind of reaffirmed that that's where you wanted to be?
Yeah, meeting like all the other commits and primarily like the other guys in the offensive line room currently, they just all seem like really nice and they seem like just like it's like one unit and it just didn't seem like there's much of like, I don't know, status, like could you say? And it just seemed like a really great group of guys to be a part of. And the guy that took me around, Kale Crow, he was awesome. So yeah, that kind of solidified it for me.
What's the relationship like with your class as a whole, this 24 Iowa class coming in?
Yeah, I'm pretty tight with all like the other offensive lineman commits, but I haven't gotten a chance to talk to many of the others. But yeah, so it's been really good. When we've gotten together or hung out. So yeah.
You certainly have to be adaptable and be able to change with what's going on, when you get into the position. But just as you sit here today and think about going to college and playing college football, what are your goals, and what kind of is in your mind that you want to accomplish?
Yeah, just playing. I just like yeah, obviously getting on the field and winning and eventually maybe making it to the NFL and yeah.
Have you had interactions with Iowa fans, and whether it be in person or on social media, and what's kind of your view of them?
Not really. I haven't talked to many people, but my view of them is just, it's definitely a live crowd, It's a lot of yeah.
Um, what were you, and we talked about Carmine's, but what do you think what are you looking forward to the most about getting here, and what do you think you'll miss the most about leaving home?
Um, I'm looking forward to just, starting a completely new thing with like a completely new opportunity. But I'm also sad to leave, my family behind and, say goodbye to my friends for, you know, and yeah, that's about it for me.
You miss the dogs too.
Yeah, for sure.
Those that are listening, we were talking about that for Will had to change his seat to do this podcast because his dogs were barking at it. Told him that I put my dogs in a room so they wouldn't interrupt us. But Will, I really appreciate you doing this, and wish you nothing but the best at Iowa. Anything you would like to say to the Iowa fans that are listening about what they can expect from you when you get here?
Just not I don't really have much, but I'm ready. I'm coming. So yeah, go
He's
Hawks.
coming to help win, right? That's the
Yeah,
number one objective. And and
yeah.
I, and I stepped on him there, but he gave us a go Hawks. Give us another one.
Go Hawks.
There you go. We thank Will for being a part of our prospect podcast here on hawkfanatic.com. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you to our sponsors, and we'll be back again soon. I believe Xavier Williams will be our next guest on the prospect podcast, an incoming running back from Indiana. So thank you to everybody for listening, and we will talk to you soon.